What do you think makes the perfect snack?
It's gotta be when I'm really craving it and it's convenient.
Could you be more specific?
When it's cravenient.
Okay.
Like a freshly baked cookie made with real butter, available right now in the street at AM/PM, or a savory breakfast sandwich I can grab in just a second at AM/PM.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, yeah, we're talking about what I crave.
Which is anything from AM/PM.
What more could you want?
Stop by AM/PM where the snacks and drinks are perfectly craveable and convenient. That's Cravenience. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Friday, September the 12th. I'm your host Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Georgia has arrested an opposition figure who urged peaceful revolution at the polls. Moldova's bid to join the EU will be under threat if pro-Russians win the next election or next poll, officials say. And global media has urged the US not to restrict journalist visas. So firstly, Georgian authorities arrested the leader of the country's largest opposition party days after he called for a peaceful revolution at local elections scheduled for next month. A spokesman for the opposition party said that he was detained while leaving an interview with opposition TV channel Formula in the capital of Tbilisi. The State Security Service did not immediately respond for a request for comment about possible charges for him, and the Interior Ministry said they could not comment. So what? This seems like a pretty clear-cut case of, political arrest and ensuring that he can't stand for any positions anytime soon if he basically disappears. It's pretty concerning. Georgia's kind of been sliding backwards for quite a while now, and this doesn't seem to be like a great next step. Like calling for peaceful revolution. I can see how calling for peaceful revolution has opened him up to further scrutiny, as just the word revolution kind of is going to land you in hot water and gives the ruling party a bit of ammunition to get rid of you. So a bit of a silly move on his part, but yeah, they clearly wanted to get rid of him, and he just gave them the ability to. So a sad state of affairs in Georgia, and hopefully things improve, but I think it will take a pretty concerted effort, and it's not going to happen anytime soon, sadly. And next, Moldova could see its ambitions to join the European Union halted if it fails to return a pro-European parliament, a senior Moldovan official said on Thursday, as opinion polls put the pro-Russian opposition in the lead in the general election campaign. The President of Parliament and the Prime Minister, senior members of the PAS party, said that their drive to join the EU lay in the hands of voters in Moldova, one of Europe's poorest states lying between Ukraine and Romania. So what? I mean, this election is going to be pretty key, and it's almost certainly experiencing a high level of interference, likely from both Western and Eastern intelligence agencies trying to sway their ideas in the voting public. But yeah, it just needs to be a clean and fair election, in my opinion. How you ensure that in this day and age is a pretty tough ask, but what are you going to do? This is the world we now live in. I hope they vote for an EU government, as I went to Moldova and it was a lovely country and I'd love to go back, but I can definitely see how they're skeptical of the EU and some EU member states due to their history. So it's a tough one, but we'll have to see what happens in the next election. And lastly, over 100 media organizations from around the world have called on the United States government to roll back proposals that would severely shorten how long foreign journalists are permitted to live and work in the country. Under the current regulations, journalists holding an I visa are permitted to stay in the US for periods of up to 5 years that can be renewed indefinitely. The Department of Homeland Security has said they want to shorten this period to 240 days. So what? This is pretty strange. Like, why? I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's them trying to crack down on foreign journalists staying in the country for long periods of time so they can build credible and solid sources within the US administration and then publish articles that are critical of the US administration. They could probably also use this to kick journalists who have been in the country for long periods out in relatively short order, which is pretty scary, both for like the global state of things, but also for the local American, domestic American audience, because you do need foreign journalists in there having a look to see what's going on, as much as they don't like it. What this clearly isn't, though, journalists aren't trying to stay illegally in the US, which is probably how he's going to try and phrase it. So, yeah, I don't know. The world's a crazy place right now. But anyway, thank you for listening to The Entire Brief. I've been your host, Daniel. I'll see you again next week. Have a good weekend. See you.
Did you know using your browser in incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? Take back your privacy with IPVanish VPN. Just one tap and all your data, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be instantly protected. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. Use IPVanish on all your devices, anytime you go online at home and especially on public Wi-Fi. Get IPVanish now for 70% off a yearly plan with this exclusive offer at ipvanish.com/audio.